Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. And the topic of this 10-minute moan is the incredible news that 2 different terror plots have seen 8 men arrested over the last 12 hours or so. And everyone bar one has been disclosed as Iranian. I also have footage of the live arrest of one of them in this video. So this was incredible. This sort of happened last night just as we were all settling down to bed, and there was news broke about 5 suspected terrorists being arrested in various addresses up and down the country. And at that point it was disclosed that there was 4 Iranians. However, since awakening today, we've been hit with the news that there are another 3 suspects arrested under a totally separate and unattached second arrest and investigation, which every one of those is Iranian. So we now have 8 men arrested, 7 of who are definitely Iranian and 1 nationality unknown. And there was 2 things that really caught my eye with the reporting of this. One was a claim made by Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, and the other was MI5, something they said last year, which has resurfaced. And I find both those comments, when you put them together, actually quite disturbing, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. So the first thing, I'll just give you a sort of synopsis of the story. British police have arrested 8 men as part of 2 separate counter-terrorism investigations. 5 men, 4 of whom were Iranians, were arrested in London, Swindon, Greater Manchester on Saturday as part of an investigation in a plot to target a specific premises. The Metropolitan Police said in a statement early on Sunday, the site targeted by the plot, which has not been named for operational reasons, has been made aware and is being supported by police, the Met Office said. 3 other men, all Iranian, were arrested in London on Saturday as part of a separate counter-terror police probe. Police said that the 2 cases are unconnected. Commander Dominic Murphy, head of the force's counter-terrorism command, said of the first operation that police are still working to establish a motive, as well as to identify whether there may be any further risk to the public. As well as to identify if there may be any further risk to the public when you've already arrested 8 men. UK Home Secretary Yvette Cooper praised the police after Saturday's arrest. Protecting national security is the first duty of government, and our police and security services have a strong support in their vital work, she told the news agency in a statement. These are serious events that demonstrate the ongoing requirement to adapt our responses to national security alerts, she said. Last year, the head of UK's MI5 security service, this bit caught me, Ken McCallum, said that Iran and Russia are behind a staggering rise in attempts at assassination, sabotage and other crimes in Britain. He said at the time, this is a year ago, his agents and police had tackled 20 potentially lethal plots by Iran since 2022, most aimed at Iranians in Britain. Now, if you think about what he said there, since 2022 could be the years 2023 and 2024 alone, could be the start of 2022, so we don't exactly know, but what we do know is there was 20 plots tackled. That, if it's over a 2-year period, is almost 1 a month. That, over a 3-year period, is more than 1 every 2 months. That, to me, is mind-blowing. That is a serious threat to our country. Now, what they're saying is most were aimed at Iranians in Britain. They're still in Britain. And not all of them were aimed at Iranians. That's bonkers. He added, by the way, I've got a video of the one in Rochdale being arrested that's doing the tour on the internet. I'll put that in a wee minute. And he added there was a risk of an increase in or broadening of Iranian state aggression in the UK if conflicts in the Middle East deepen. Now, that was a year ago. I don't think they've undeepened, if we're perfectly honest. So I just find the whole thing incredible. However, most grateful that these things are actually getting nipped in the bud, because it gives you a bit of faith as far as our counter-terrorism is concerned, that these things are, we do see some terror in the UK, Manchester, London Bridge, Westminster Bridge, these sort of things, and they're horrific. They are horrific. But when you consider the amount of plots that they're nipping in the bud, it does give me some faith that we are safer. Not entirely safe, however, but safer with the counter-terrorism police that we've got. But the video I'm just about to show you, the arrest in Rochdale, kind of doesn't look like police to me. It looked as if it looked a combined effort between police and probably some serious parts of our armed forces. I may be wrong, I'm just looking at the way the guys are dressed. A couple or three of them looking very army-like. But it concerns me. And you've got to wonder, and it makes me wonder, are these guys here legally, illegally, false asylum, fake asylum, or have we let them in legally? If they're here legally, I'm actually even more concerned. If they got here illegally, that's actually should be easy to stop. And if anybody still has these crazy dreams that we should just have open borders and let any Tom, Dick and Harriet come into the UK, then surely you're crackers, right? Because this just shows you how vulnerable we are. Anybody anywhere in the world can have people in our country intent on causing terror in our country. And I don't care if their targets, what nationality their targets are. It said they are mostly Iranian, but they're still here. And that means, depending on how they want to carry out their acts of terror, could involve British casualties. And it's also said most, not all. So they are obviously intent on killing people who are non-Iranian. That's just using common sense and applying some logic. But I must say, I think our anti-terror response must be good, because the amount of stuff that we're nipping in the bud. But what it also makes me a bit cautious of is thinking, do they tell us about them? They don't. There's not a chance we're told about them all. And we know that there's certain things who people in the street would term as acts of terror or intended acts of terror, that they kind of need to bury them and say they're not, like Ruda Cabana. Like, you know, things that have definitely got links. But we hear it quite a lot that it's not terror related. Yet the terror police are investigating people. It's a bit bonkers, isn't it? So here's a video of the arrest in Rochdale. Staying up to date with events around the world can be difficult, where it's impossible to consult a single source for the full story. Narratives that shape public opinion often just reinforce media and corporate-backed vested interests. It's hard to know what information to trust. See what the media is exaggerating, sensationalising, over or under reporting. That's why I've been using Ground News. Ground News is an app and website that combines news from around the world in one place, so you can compare coverage. For every news source, you can see if it has any political bias, how reliable the reporting is, and who owns them. They even have a blind spot feed that highlights news disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum. Take a data-driven view on the news and stay current. Get news from thousands of sources worldwide in one place. I've been using Ground News to help me get all the world's news in one place and give a more balanced opinion on what we read and viewing who is telling us the truth and who isn't. Subscribe via my link to get 40% off the Vantage subscription. It's the one I use to get unlimited access to every feature. Your subscription can not only help my channel, but also help Ground News, as it makes the media landscape more transparent. So there we go. Horrific, frightening, but at the end of the day, they are arrested, so we should be thankful for that. If you want other people to see this video, do 1, 2 or 3 of the following things. Tick the like button, hit the comments, put some comments in, and hit share. If you've not already done so, but half the people that watch my videos have subscribed to the channel, if you're one that hasn't, please hit the subscribe button, and if you want notification when I put a new video out, tick the bell. But more important than all that, unless you're the type of person that wants to come to these shores intent in committing crimes, terror and murder on our streets, not you. But
everyone else, have a great day. Cheerio, bye now.